Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs and video games, and today I'm playing Hollow Knight. Last time on Hollow Knight, we conclusively determined that slamming my face into the ground does not yield favorable results, just like in real life. We also explored a few dark areas and discovered the Crystal Peak, where we are now. And this time on Hollow Knight, we will be wandering the Crystal Peak. I'm changing out some charms. I changed out the Dast Master for the Fragile Heart so that we have two more faces. And I changed out the what is it called? The Wayward Compass. I changed out the Wayward Compass for the Thorns of Agony. Since we don't have a map in this area, the Wayward Compass just literally does nothing, and the Thorns of Agony does something, which is about all we can say, but the Thorns of Agony is a filler charm. We don't need it to do a lot, it's just something that you wear when you are not wearing the Wayward Compass. I'm also going to try to not get hit nearly as often as I have been. It's making the Thorns of Agony do more, but I would like to not get hit anyway. I do hope that we meet the Morbid Miner in the Crystal Peak sometime. If you don't remember him, we met him very early on in the Forgotten Crossroads. He looks a lot like those enemies I just fought, and he was singing a very morbid song. Hence the name Morbid Miner. I'm hoping that we can meet up with him so that we can arrange a truce between myself and his family, so that we don't have to fight them anymore. I do intend to gather some wealth from the Crystal Peaks, which might be in direct conflict with the interests of the Morbid Miner family. But I think that there's plenty to go around. Ooh, a grub. I have to get to that grub from the other side. I think that there's plenty of wealth to go around, so we could just, instead of fighting about it, we could divide up the Crystal Peak into different areas. One area will be mine, and one area will be theirs. And that way we can each get as many crystals as we want. I do want to go up there. Maybe we could partner with the Trinket Hustler, and we could start a crystal selling business on the side. Make all of these profits from the Crystal Peak. We'll have to do that after we arrange with the Morbid Miner family. Oh gosh, there's more of them down here. That's a wall. Okay, well let's go on the other side of that wall. I'm knocking them down, which doesn't feel like it's very helpful. I'm very glad that I finally learned how to defeat those big guys. You know, you just have to slash them in the face. I can't tell if we have just gone around to where we have been before. feel like we have. I feel like we've gone around to where we were before. So because I feel that way, I'm gonna go back and try to go a new way. Oh look, if we were going this way the first time, we would be blocked by this thing. I guess we were blocked in the other direction too, I just didn't really notice, because I didn't know that the bottom there was stopped. Had a blockade. Oh, there's another. Okay, I think the way you get this grub is by traversing this crazy spike trap. So let's do that. That actually was easy. Oh, it got faster over here. Still easy though. Good job. Or, welcome to the outside world, Grub. I don't know why I said good job for myself. I was trying to say something to the grub. Ooh, interesting new enemies, right? Can we fight them? Or are they only... I think they might only be a trap and not be something that we can fight. I tried hitting them in the front and it did not make a difference. So I think we don't fight those. So I had a long time to see that pickaxe and notice where it was going and not dodge it. I do notice this over here. This looks like a piece of the cartographer's notebook. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I still see pieces of the cartographer notebook. And I would really like a map. Oh look, it's another picture of ghosts. Yes. A tale of a summit. Okay. Wow, this is the most expensive map I've seen yet. And I want that, but I can't jump high enough to get up there. So we are going to put it on our map. Which we just found, and I realize we have no idea where we are on the map. Where are we? Okay, I think that tells me where we are on the map. I think that we're right here, right next to that, all of those spikes. Can we bounce off of these spikes? I don't think so. Makes you wonder how you get across. But I guess we'll figure that out another time. Another thing that happened last time on Hollow Knight is we found our first vessel fragment. If we find 3 more, then we can complete a vessel, and it will increase the amount of soul that we can have in our soul egg. And we actually know where one of those is. Ooh, this is a new interesting enemy. And a picture to a bench. kind of want to go to that bench and change out my charms. I was talking about vessel fragments. So we need 3 more, and then we can complete a vessel. Oh, this looks like a door that is going to shut on me. I will talk about vessel fragments after we do this. The Crystal Guardian. Whoa, okay. Oh, the bench is right there. He was sitting on the bench. Was that the first time I got hit by him? I think it was. Oop, well, got hit again. I'm going to try to heal. It is pretty hard to heal when he's zapping me with something while I'm trying to heal, you know? I think I'm doing just fine in this fight, but like all enemies, I have no idea how close I am to defeating him. I think I got my heal off, surprisingly there. He jumped really close to me, but he didn't jump on me. Got him. Did he just jump straight up into the ceiling? I want to be able to do that. That's impressive, man. Alright, I wanted to change out my charms because now that we have the map, I care a lot more about the Wayward Compass. And again, I need to jump a little bit higher before I can get up there. And let's check out our map. So there's a place we haven't gone below us, and we can't go up. Well, we actually might be able to go up that way. But let's go right first. So, the vessel fragments. One of the things that I just don't know is how much more soul we could carry in our soul egg if we increased our vessel. Right now I can heal 3 times, so maybe it'll increase it so that I could heal 4 times. That's my best guess of how much more I'll be able to hold. But we'll find out once we actually complete a vessel fragment. This guy is really getting me here. I took a lot of damage fighting those two. I want to get the money. There's a big money up there. This is another, like, blockade. We actually do know where one vessel fragment is. The Trinket Hustler has one in his shop. So we only actually need to find 2 more, and then buy that one. I want to go to the left, and I want to go up. I mean, honestly, there's so many different directions for me to go, though. I'm happy with any of them. This one has crushers. Ooh, and there's a grub up there to get past the crushers. Should I go in the bottom or the top? Well, the bottom doesn't go to the grub. I'm going to assume that the crushers don't immediately... Oh. Well, we have now confirmed. The crushers are just like spikes. So if they hit you, then you just get sent back. Okay. Timing. Timing is everything. I guess timing and distance. Oh, this one's tricky. Got it. I hope you have a better time getting back than I do, Grub. Is that gonna open this door? Okay. That particular switch took a lot longer to activate than most of them. Oh, it also turned off all the crushers. That was a very useful switch. And this is where we went up to get to the cartographer. So we've been that way. I'm pretty happy to save all these grubs. I think we've saved at least a couple, or maybe one grub, since we've... One grub before this episode that we haven't gone to the sad guy about yet. So I'd like to go to the sad guy sometime and tell him about how many grubs we've returned. Oh, they've got a money egg. How do we get to that money egg? Oh, there's another money egg. And there's a chest. I want everything in this room. Let's start with money eggs. Does he get hit by those guys? They do not. They're immune to the lasers. I think I'm also immune... Oh, I'm not immune to the lasers when it goes through. Interesting. This is dangerous money. There's a lot of these miners up here. The Vengeful Spirit did not defeat them all, but it hurt them all. Oh, I just screwed up my heal. So I didn't actually get a heal in there. I do want to get some health. Probably before dealing with those. And I want to deal with those. So we should get some health. Where can we get some health? Oh, well that thing is not active anymore. We can get some health off of this guy. A little bit anyway. By the way, for those of you who were hoping that I would wear Joni's Blessing this episode, because it's a new interesting charm, you are masochists who want me to die. And I will endeavor not to give you that. I will endeavor not to, but, well, you might get lucky. I hope we find a switch that turns these off too. Ooh, this one's tricky. You have to jump up a bit. Oh, it set me back this far. I can go down, or I can keep going. I think I should keep going. I'm glad that I kept going. And we got a chest. I am rather happy with how many different things we are achieving in this episode. We've gotten a couple of grubs, we've gotten a chest, and we found a few money eggs. Ooh, I think that's the third grub, in fact. I don't think that I want to fight one of those right now. And that was the room that we've been in before, so no need to explore down. We really want to explore up now. And we might want to stop by the... What am I trying to say? We might want to stop by the bench so we can heal. Do I want to heal off of that guy again? I think the answer is going to be no, but let's check the map. Yeah, we can just go straight back to the bench and get a full heal instead of just a little bitty heal. Great. And our map is updated. You know, I never noticed, I can look at my map when I'm sitting on the bench, and it actually has our little dude sitting on the bench while he's looking at the map. I like that. I've been a little bit more purposeful in my wandering in this episode. Oh, what? It goes nowhere? I mean, we have to go to the right. Which we can't do? I don't think. Yeah, we can't go to the right. What do we do? There's a place where you can go to the right way below us. Let's try to go past the bench. And while I'm doing this, I'll say again that I've been more purposeful in my wandering than I usually am. I usually just wander around. But it feels like there are so many paths that are not quite open to us that it's nice to be more purposeful and open paths. So like, for example, here I want to go up because it's the place that I haven't been. Oh, and there's a shiny thing. A shopkeeper's key. That's interesting. Where do we use that? I mean, I can think of a couple places. There's that place in Dirtmouth where there's a locked door. That could be a place for it. There's also a place in the Forgotten Crossroads where there's like a slot that we had to put something in. So that's also a potential place. But I don't know how we would know which one to put it in. I guess we just go and see which one it works in. I wonder why this little path over here exists. Maybe there is a shortcut that ends up going into that path once we get onto the other side. Because I don't see why they would have one of those big crystal enemies there, and that's it. Ooh, coral. I'm glad that you're not surprised. You have a lot of confidence in me. Yes, I really did. I really was sad about those miners. I wanted to treaty with them. Where does your knowledge come from? I mean, you're the one to answer that, right? Presumably it comes from books. So this is like a viewing area on top of the mountain, I guess. The cartographer has been up here, based on what we know on the map where we haven't been. Can I don't know if I can jump up here. Kind of looks like I can't. Like I can jump once over here, but I can't get any higher. Yeah, I think that is not something I can do yet. Ooh, I can't hit that lamppost. I think it's in the foreground. I don't know what that sound is. It sounds ominous. And because we can't jump high enough to go up, I guess we're gonna go down. Presumably where that sound is coming from. Oh, maybe it was just those laser guys that we've fought before. There's plenty of crystals to go around, people. Alright, there's a shiny... Ooh, there's a money egg, too. There's a shiny thing and a money egg. We got hit while getting that. Oh no. I'm trapped. Well, we got a Wanderer's Journal, which is not the most exciting thing to get, but I still like getting them. Oh, we are above where we were before. And there's a very strange thing in there. How do we get over there? Ah, right here. So let's put that on our map. It is right where we're standing. And apparently we ran out of blue markers again, because it auto chose a red marker. There's nothing over here other than this big crystal bug. For some reason, I've just been able to time those enemies basically every single time. I think they might be harder than it has been for me. Oh, here's another shortcut that we've opened. We've essentially opened all the shortcuts on the right side. So we've been able to move one more to the right. Is that like a bug blimp? It kind of looks like a hot air balloon without a basket, doesn't it? And there's a grub up there. I can't get to that grub. There's no way that I could get to the grub with my current abilities. So we put it on the map. This grub is going to be yellow, because we got yellow markers last time. And I have not used a yellow marker yet. Ooh, a money egg. Enticing. Those are spikes. Those are not enticing. What is below us? It's probably spikes. Yes, I discovered that it was spikes. Can we heal? No, because we fell before we were able to finish the heal. The spike field continues. I tried to go to the right to see, and it looks like the spikes continue as far as I can go right now. So we need to go up once we get over here. Whoa. There were some spikes on the ceiling that I did not expect. That's why I was unable to do that part. And I see one of these locked inside a little room. See, these aren't even enemies anymore. They're just crystals in the background shooting at us. Something is wrong if your crystals that you're mining, like, shoot jets of energy out at you. This is not a safe mining territory. Oh. I got that timing the first time, but that was surprising. That was not expected. Whoa, these are fast. Is this at the other side of that area I tried to go right on? I don't know. What in the world is this? We consumed a crystal heart? What does that mean? Hold LT. Release the button to blast forward and fly through the air. And they're forcing us to figure it out right now. We make a pattern of crystals behind us. Oh, it's a dash that just goes all the way across. So that's crazy. And that was the same room that I was thinking it was. Oh, can we use that to get this grub now? I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm pressing the map button. And okay. There's more to learn. When I get into position, I can just stay on the wall forever. And you're free, Grub. Go to the left. That's where your sad guy is. Okay, where can we go? We can go across where the cartographer is now, but I also want to go down and see if we can go to the right at that little room where there's a right exit we haven't been. So down first. Glad we turned off the crushers. And is it this room? It is this room. So we want to go to the right. I think I've gotten better at those enemies. I'm not going to test it though. We're just going to move on. So this is a dark area in the Crystal Peak, by the way. Oops. I think we had to have the lantern. Oh, okay. Let me take care of this little guy before I try to talk about stuff, I guess. I think that we had to have the crystal lantern in order to really get to the Crystal Peak. And by crystal lantern, I meant the Lumafly lantern. So a dark area here, like, you have to be able to traverse it because you have to have had the lantern. Unless there's another entrance that we haven't been to. I'm disappointed that all that money is falling to the spikes, because I want that money. So yeah, I think even though this is a dark area, you would be expected to be able to do it. Ooh. This looks like the Snail Shaman place. Oh, and I fell. Well, that was silly. I should have dashed across. Cursed are those who turn against the king. Where are we? We're in a new area, apparently. We're getting close to when I would save, so I guess whenever we find a bench, we'll save. Oh, well, there's a stagway. We don't have a pass. Let me learn. Okay. Oh, this is the other side of the... yeah, in the Forgotten Crossroads, there's a place just like this. Although that side had a money egg below it, and this one does not. Where it asked for... there was something that you stick in a slot. That was one of the places where I thought the key we got might work. And clearly, it's not. So where are we, and where would a bench be? This particular section of the floor looks different for some reason. So I thought it would be breakable or do something, and it did not. I think the decor is very creepy. We're clearly in a cemetery, right? To protect the vessel, the dreamers lay sleeping. Manamon the teacher, Lurien the watcher, Hera the beast. Through their devotion, Hollow Nest lasts eternal. Dreamer locations added to the map? By the vessel or by that captive light? Would the seals break, they cannot be undone. The plague springs anew, they must be undone. It must be cast away. Fade away, little shadow, fade away and let us sleep in peace. I am waking up in a very different place than I was. Yes. I'm very confused as to what's happening. I'm just following a set of pathways. There's one that went below. I don't know what the pathway below is for. What are you? And why do you have the magical power to create platforms? I mean, I've been fine. Oh, I am not in a real place. I'm in like a fade realm or something. I will take a weapon. What is it? The Dream Nail. Hold Y to charge and slash with the nail. Cut through the veil between dreams and waking. Hello? Where am I? Into the hidden place, the dreamer realm. I can cut through the veil that separates the waking world from the dreams. I have to bring this person essence. Fragments of light that dreams are made of. Collect it wherever you find it and bring it to me. Collect 100 essence. Alright, we have a new thing to collect. Also, how do we use this dream nail? I mean, does it do anything? It cuts through dreams, whatever that means. I'm in the resting grounds. What? I can do stuff with the trees? Is this essence? I think what I'm collecting here is essence from the tree. Dude, how many are these? How many of these are there from the one tree? Well, it's not going to be hard to collect 100 if I'm getting 20 off of one tree, right? So this is breakable, but we also have no map, so I can't put it on the map. Let's go this way. This is where we came from. Oh. I didn't actually mean to read this whole thing again. Okay, let's go this direction and find a bench. Presumably there's a bench nearby. That is not a bench, that is a big statue. But I'm glad I found that too. I think that said Stagway. Whoa, look at the tree. Dead remembered? Penitent moth, dreams revered? Can I break this door? No. Well, let's go to the Stagway. Cartographer? We never got a chance to find the cartographer ourselves? Well, I think we're going to head to Dirtmouth and buy some stuff. Such as the map of this area, right? We are in the resting grounds. I'm so sad that I didn't zip across that area, the place where I fell down to the resting grounds, because I had the ability to zip across. But I just didn't hold the right button. Okay, the resting grounds. We will definitely buy that map. Oh, and here's those trees. So we can have the trees show on our map. And there are graves. Wait a minute, these are pins. So that's another marker? I need to look at that. In the Howling Cliffs. Yeah, okay. So the tree shows up on our map. Oh, and the stone sanctuary is one of the graves. That makes sense. There was that giant stone statue there. Great. While we're in Dirtmouth, let's also buy from the Trinket Hustler.
Oh, whoop-a.
The key to your storeroom. Where's your storeroom? Oh, well, this is not what I expected the key to do. By any means. We can buy another mask shard. I like that. Oh, he suspects that he undercharged last time. My word. The Sprint Master. Holding down lets you run quickly. Well, I want a lot of these, but I most want this one. Let's buy that one. And then second is probably... Well, second is probably a mask shard, so let's save up. Great. Well, there's a lot to do for next time. In this episode, we rescued 4 grubs. We were on a grub rescuing spree. Also, we collected essence for the first time, so I added a new category for that. And the achievement we earned at the end was for connecting half of the stagways in the game. Anyway, thanks for watching.